Alright guys, we're gonna try to get ourselves some free drones today, and in this tutorial I'm also gonna teach you guys how to use the combat scanner probes properly. It will also incorporate the skills you need to use normal scanning probes. So let's get started. Well, first of all, let's launch all the probes we need. For the minimum, you will want at least 4 of these probes to get the correct three-dimensional triangulation. I'll show you how to lay them out in just a bit. But for now, let's take a look at the ship that I have. I'm using a Caldari level 2 buzzard. It's a Tech 2 buzzard. It's a covert ops frigate that has bonuses to scan strength and probe flight time, and I also have some gravity capacitor installed to increase my scanning strength as well. So, and because we're in space, we don't know who's going to catch us, I'm going to cloak. And now let's take a look at scanning. Okay, so looking at the system map, so I'm going to teach you a few tricks right here. First is to set up the probes in a trigonal pyramidal, as some people call it the tetrahedron shape. This shape is going to let you use only 4 probes for scanning things, because it actually gives you the best kind of coverage in any spherical area with only 4 probes. So here it is. It looks like a pyramid, but instead of a square base, it has a triangular base. It looks just like a pyramid with an equilateral triangle in the bottom. So this is what I started out with before I got my skills, but this should be pretty sufficient for people who are just starting out and exploring. So, but because my skills allows me to have 6 probes, this is what I'm gonna do instead of the trigonal pyramidal that I'm showing you right now. What I do is I have the probe sit in a square formation, and I will have 2 more right in the dead center. You don't need to be extremely anal and put them in the dead center and be all square and whatnot, but generally, as long as it's in this shape, you should be more than fine. So this is a kind of like a 2 pyramids sitting on top of each other, one inverted, one upright. But that's what we're gonna start. So here are some tricks I'm gonna teach you. Holding the shift button, instead of moving 1 probe at a time, holding the shift button, you actually move all the probes you have deployed at the same time. The other trick is to use the Alt button. When you hold down the Alt button and you move a probe, you are actually moving all of the probes at the same time away or towards the center of all the probes that you have deployed. So these 2 are the tricks that you will use to very quickly hone down on the drones that you want to find. So this is a pretty big system, so I want to move my probes out a little more, get it centered on the sun, and probably increase my scan range for now. And let's see what we get. Okay, so we got quite a little bit of hit, and so I'm going to teach you how to spot for potentially Tech 2 drones. Now, if you know the skills well enough, you know that people who have Tech 2 drones have a drone level of 5, so they will usually have 5 drones out. Now, the way you can tell how they have 5 drones out is to look at the signal strength. If they are identical, it means they're in the same area or in the same distance from your probes. So this group of 5 which have unique IDs means that they're actually 5 in the same general area. Now I don't see any groups that have repeated values, but sometimes you see groups that have IDs that are repeated twice. That means they're actually the same. They're actually just the same signature, but your probes, only because only 2 or 3 probes can detect them, they don't have the enough three-dimensional triangulation needed to pin down a correct area. So they have 2 possible locations for where the drones are at. But for now, let's focus on the ones with the 5 drones. So I found 2 groups. One is this group right here with 0.72%, and one group right here with 4.3%. I'm going to focus on this group because it has the higher signal strength. So let's hone down on this. So the way we do that is we have our sphere of probes laying out in a very nicely enclosed area, and we also have the drones in a very tight location as well. So what we want to do is to reposition them by holding the shift key so that the center of our probes are also right around the center of all the drones. So you do that by looking at multiple angles from the top, from the side, from the other side, and to make sure that it's roughly about the center. And then you look at the size of your probes, the probes circling area. And it looks like we can probably shrink this a little and still be able to catch all of the drones inside of our little probe area. You want them to be inside. So it looks like we can probably shrink this and still get a pretty good coverage of the area. So let's scan again. Okay, so the scan has completed, and it looks like we actually have 2 groups of 5 drones that have different signal strength and different IDs. So we're still going to focus on the one with the higher signal strength, and they are getting tighter now because of our because decreasing the scan range will actually increase your scan strength. So again, same thing, we reposition our drones, or we position our probes so that the center of the probes vaguely line up with the center of the signals that we found. So that's pretty good. And then the next step is to holding the Alt key to lower or to decrease the volume of space between the probes. And third, when I'm doing this, I'm actually holding down the shift key as well, because this will actually excuse me this will actually change the scan range of all the probes at the same time. So I'm doing this, and I'm getting ready to scan again. Alright, we got a closer hit and a higher signal strength, which is a good sign. When you have higher signal strength, it means that you're actually getting closer and honing down onto the drones themselves. Again, same technique, recenter, shrink the scanning volume, and then decrease the scanning range. Alright guys, I actually messed up earlier. I forgot to press the recording, or I forgot to unmute my microphone, so I didn't get any sound in my previous cut, but it doesn't matter. I actually found the drones last time, but let's look at some other ones right now. So I found this bunch of 10 drones, and if you look at the ID, there are actually some repeated ones, like these two, the XEO510 and the BFO406, right? But these all belong to the same signal strength group. So we know that these are actually just 5 drones grouped together but because they are not quite within range, the probes think that there are two possible locations of these drones. So I'm gonna try to get them. So yeah, I'm gonna, because there are 10 possible locations for these drones, I'm going to try to ignore the other results and just focus on these. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to expand my scan range this time and move them out a little further so I have a better enclosure of all of these drones. So let's go. Alright, so we actually did hone down on the 5 of them with a much tighter location. Yes, like this one that we're talking about, XCO 510, we know that it is part of this group. So we are going to, just like earlier, recenter and, well, moving the camera closer as well. Okay, let's see. Gonna move the group up a little. And a little further up here, and I'm going to decrease the area, the volume that my circles are enclosing, and there we go. Let's scan again. Alright, got the results. We just got to rinse and repeat. Same thing. Recenter. Trying to see where they are. Moving it over back here a little. Looks good. And then I'm going to shrink my area again and shrink my scanning range. And let's go. Oh, this is another trick that I've learned to recenter. You sometimes after you reposition the probes, your camera is no longer looking at the center location of interest. So, yes, thank you. I know that. So what you want to do is you just double click on one of your probes to bring it slightly closer to where you're looking at. So just like that. Alright, rinse and repeat. Recenter by holding the shift button and holding down the alt button. Reduce the volume of enclosure, and holding down the shift button, decrease the scan range of all of your probes. There we go. So it looks like it's actually pretty close to this area right here, which there are some asteroid belts. I'm going to actually give that a shot to see if we can get a good lock on the items, or on the drones. So I shrunk it by quite a bit and trying to get it to line up vertically with that bunch of stars, systems and whatnot. Move it a little closer so that it's centered on there. Yep, that looks pretty good. So again, I'm going to decrease my scanning range, and let's try that again. Moment of truth. So what are they? Oh, we still don't know what they are yet. We know they are combat drones, but we don't quite know what they are yet. Okay, so let's see. Again, repositioning, moving them so that they're in the center, and again holding down the alt to decrease the enclosure volume, and decreasing the scan range. Here we go. I am here. Ah, see, Hobgoblin 2s. Let's see. I want my Hobgoblin 2. So somebody probably just left them at an asteroid belt. Let's see. while I'm waiting to warp there, I'm just gonna, recenter on at the center of the system and increase my scan range again to catch others. So, getting back out, where are the drones? Oh. Oh. Oh well, looks like these are actually not abandoned. Oh, these are abandoned. We'll just pick them up. Well, bummers. Well, that sucks. Yeah, we can't just steal people's active drones. If my Eve did not crash... Come on. Okay, there we go. Alright. Picking up the drones. Scoping to cargo hold. Stopping. Scoping to cargo hold. Don't go away. Scoping to cargo hold. And I am a very impatient person. And scoping to cargo hold. Scoop to. Oh my god. Nope. Scoop to cargo hold. I hate this. Anyway, we can clear these results. Or we can clear all ignored results. And see what's happening. So these are probably the ones we picked up. Wait, no. Probably is. And there's one right there, which I think is quite a bit away from us. We actually got a lock on these 4. We don't have these 5, but we can probably get them too. I'm gonna go here and pick up this mining drone as well. Alright, so it looks like it wasn't a very successful scanning exercise, but yeah, hopefully you guys get the general idea of how to scan down drones and pick them up. I find that usually towards the closer we get to downtime, the more abandoned drones there are in the systems. And of course, we're talking about high sec here. So yeah, good luck, and see you guys in space.